I'd like to share a story about my friend, Ray. We served in the military, and to be honest, Ray wasn't the easiest person to live with. His life took a downturn when he accidentally burned his house down with a cigarette. He fell asleep whilst drunk. His wife then left him, and they ended up in the single accommodation with the rest of the guys, where he used drinking as a coping mechanism, and he was drinking heavily with a lot of the lads. It was a continuous cycle, and he ended up locked in his room with the loud music and the heavy drinking, and we could see it was taking a toll on him. And then one night, after one of these drinking sessions, Ray decided to drive. So he drove his brand new car and he hit a lamppost with it whilst drunk. Luckily, he didn't injure himself or anyone else. He only wrote his car off, but it was on camp. This kind of reckless behaviour earned Ray a reputation on base, and we'd often say things like, "What's Ray done now?" This destructive pattern continued, and after a long exercise in Wales, most of us headed to the pub for a few drinks. Around 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday, we headed off home. I said to Ray, and I tried to convince him to join us, but he was having a good time with a couple of the locals, so I left him to it. Next morning, we were all ready to go, but there was no sign of Ray. When he'd finally showed up, he looked like someone who'd been out drinking all night, and the Sergeant Major got a hold of him and gave him a severe dressing down, so harsh that Ray was told he would be stripped of his rank, and it was the only thing that he had left. That night, Ray, as a punishment, was put on guard duty with another soldier. They split up for a patrol, and the other guy hears a gunshot. So he rushes back. He found Ray in the toilets. Give me a sec. He found Ray in the toilets where he'd shot himself in the head. Back then, mental health wasn't discussed in the same way it is today, and this is a tragic event that affected not only Ray, but many of us who knew him. The soldier who found him, understandably, needed a lot of support, and I couldn't help but question if I could have done more. We'll never know the answer to that. What is clear is that there were signs and Ray was struggling, and we didn't know how to help him back then. I do now. Which is why I'm passionate about delivering mental health training that makes a real impact. Not just another tick box exercise or a dull e-learning course. The pressures of modern life include work, financial worries, and the blurring of boundaries between home and work have led to increased stress and anxiety. In fact, stress is often mislabeled as pressure, but there's a difference. Recognizing stress in yourself and others involves looking for changes in behavior, but knowing how to approach someone and what to say can be challenging. People often avoid these conversations out of fear of saying the wrong thing. Ray wrote a letter before he shot himself, apologising for his behaviour. Do I feel guilty that I didn't do more? A little bit. But I didn't know what I know now. If this topic resonates with you and you'd like to learn more, please visit our website. And most importantly, if you're going through something similar to Ray, remember, you're not alone. We'll provide you with the relevant links you need under this video.